and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming my revealing to my parents that I was pregnant. I don't really know what this is going to be called. I guess I will figure something out when it comes to actually titling this video. But in case you don't know already, I am a expectant mother who is 19, so that qualifies me for being a pregnant teen. And I think at such a young age it can come to a shock to many parents that you're pregnant, but it is something obviously that you're going to have to tell your parents and face at some point. And I just wanted to share my story and my family's reaction to it, basically. So when I told my parents, it didn't take my parents by as much as a surprise as you'd think it would, because when I was 17 I fell pregnant then. Still with the same partner, but due to health complications and just stuff like that, I don't have this child. I told my mum at probably around 9 to 10 weeks that I was pregnant. I wanted to keep it a secret and something just between me and my partner for as long as possible without having to get people involved, and just keeping it, you know, just really close, because it is such a personal thing. It is such a life-changing thing that I think keeping it to yourself for a bit and like telling your partner, obviously, or the person involved, like telling them is obviously essential, but I think just keeping it between very few people at the very beginning is perfectly fine, perfectly healthy. And I think it's what made my process and the whole process of telling my parents a much easier experience for me, because I knew exactly with my body how I was feeling. And if I just told them straight on as soon as I found out, because I found out when I was like 5 weeks pregnant, I think I may have really struggled. I think there could have been a lot of peer pressure. But when I told my mum, like I said, I was about 10 weeks and she was perfectly chilled about it. I think she was kind of expecting it, because children is something that I've gone on about, and like starting my own family is something I've always talked about. I've always wanted to do it, and I've always wanted to do it young as well. But I think my mum was kind of expecting it. My mum was very fine, and I don't think initially she was excited, but now she's very excited. I think at the beginning she was quite scared for me, but I needed to tell her because I needed her support, and I needed to know processes of things, and like I just wanted her to come with me to like a few appointments just to help me and guide me, because obviously she's already done it. I think she offers really good advice to me when I really need it. However, telling my dad was a bit of a different story. I don't live with my dad. I've never lived with him. Him and my mum split when I was about 3, and so seeing him was very few and far between anyway. But I think he come down on my sister's birthday, which would have made me around 12, gone past 12 weeks pregnant. And so I told him. He was very, very shocked, and I think quite angry as well, just with what I had told him. It wasn't at all a very pretty sight to have seen or be around. When I told my dad, there were I think a few nasty words shared between us. I think his initial thoughts that were going through his head, from what I remember as well, were that he thought and thinks that I'm too young to be starting my own family and to be having all of this pressure on me, that I wouldn't be able to live the kind of life that you know, you kind of see on TV, like go to university, go away on these massive drinking holidays, which is something I wasn't really was never really been a consideration anyway. And I think what made it easier for my dad, what made the news settle in a bit easier, was me being very firm and telling him that, you know, this was something that I'd thought about, I was really ready for, I was willing and so excited for the challenge that was ahead of me. My health was in a pretty much near perfect condition. Like, I think he had a few just more anxiety thoughts through his head rather than pure anger. I think it was more just being scared, and just the thought of him losing his little girl as well, because I'm the eldest. I think the thought of him losing his little girl and his little girl having to like grow up and be an adult herself was something that he didn't want to face, but it was going to happen as well at some point. We didn't talk for a few weeks then after that, but now we're fine and we're talking, and I think he's getting quite excited to meet my little girl, like his granddaughter. I think he's now getting excited for that. I think what made me telling my parents, I think what made my parents feel so anxious about was because I have diabetes and I have had really poor health in the past. They were just scared of that because obviously pregnancy is 40 weeks, like that's 9 months. And I've never ever, like I'm ashamed to admit it, never been able to keep my bloods under such a tight, good control for 9 months. I haven't even been able to do it for a month. So I think that really scared them, and they know that diabetes plays such a big part in a pregnancy, and it makes a pregnancy extremely difficult and high risk. But I think after they've seen me do this for now 31 weeks, so I think they're a lot more chilled. They feel like I'm now ready for it as well, I think. This is just by how they are with me. When you tell your parents you're a teen mum, you're an expectant mother, and you're in your teens, I think it's always going to be very hard, and it's kind of the big thing that it's the first big thing you have to face. I think our parents' opinions and thoughts at the beginning are purely just scaredness and just anxieties, and just they'd hate the fact that we're growing up. But I'm now in a very good place with both my mum and I've recently been shopping with my mum to buy loads of little girly bits and like girly blankets and stuff like that, and me and my mum have been talking nursery ideas and stuff like that. So yeah, my pregnancy reveal to my parents wasn't that traumatic. It was actually really good, and it went better than I thought it would. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you how my experience went. If you want to see more videos from this channel, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.
Go show.